Hello and welcome to today's reading. Thought we would start by touching in with the Hecatean deck to start everything off. And I was going to shuffle, but then this card fell out. So we have the Devotee. The goddess is calling directly to you, enticing you to make a conscious commitment. It is a time of renewed devotion. The goddess unifies through our similarities, not our differences. Together we spread her gifts and blessings. Grow your relationship. Take that next step. Open yourself up to the love and the power of the goddess. On a mundane level, look to where you may have let yourself down by failing to stay dedicated. So we are showing up for ourselves. We're showing up to our practice. And she says, welcome, welcome back. Sometimes we take little detours, take our time, and that's wonderful. We don't rush the process. So we really need to appreciate where we are, when we are, but maybe it's time to pick up the torch and start something new. Well, we don't know that for sure yet. The reading hasn't started. So we're going to get another card to anchor in today's reading with the Seasons of the Witch, Samhain Oracle. What else can be a message of guidance to anchor in today's reading? We have Greet the Darkness. On this channel, we've been talking about the void state a lot, being in that cocoon of healing, really being in those dark places and dark spaces. And as I was saying just before, we're not rushing this. Greet the pause, greet this sacred silence. Here, where the spine bends and the mouth quivers, breathes the hidden, the pieces that make you whole but cut deep with all their sharp edges. Doing some shadow work. Always with the shadow work, but we're trying to transform ourselves, transform our lives, and introduce a new, lighter way of being. And in order to do that, we really have to get anchored in where we are and not try to force movement when we are just going to witness and observe this dark, void, blank state that we are being introduced to. Darkness. You might get a sense of terror from what you can't see, but not all hidden things are bad. There are many things you cannot see that hold the secret to life, abundance, and renewal. Like the lotus flower that blooms from the darkness of muddy waters, there is a beauty in the darkness for those who know where to look with their heart. You have pulled Greet the Darkness as a call to go deep into your dark corners. There are parts of you that are beautiful yet remain undiscovered. You must allow yourself to open to the unknown. You can do this by confronting old wounds, lost memories, feelings of guilt and shame, guilt and disappointment. This is called shadow work, a practice that allows you to make friends with your demons rather than hide from them. What seems a monster is really a lost part of you needing love and support. When feelings such as anger, resentment, and chaos come round, it is because those feelings are trying to protect you in the only way they know how. Anger only knows anger and can only offer its support in that way. Chaos only knows chaos, so that is the only way it can get your attention. These feelings are trying to help you find the beautiful gems that are waiting in the dark spaces of your being. Confront whatever feelings you have surrounding your situation and allow those feelings to surface and face them without fear. Greet them and ask them how you can work together. Journal your meditative conversations with your dark parts. Within their words of advice, you will discover the lost or missing pieces of yourself. And then we have 555 on the timer, so we are changing the relationship to the darkness, to these things. Change is coming, and that's good news. We're not going to be in this void state, this darkness forever. I'm brought back to this fire imagery behind the devotees, so definitely resonating with that fire, that anger. We might be dealing with a lot of really tough emotions, but they are screaming for our attention, and intending to them, listening to them, we can discover a lot. Let's go to the tarot, get some actual tarot cards to tell more of this story. All right, so we have the Six of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. Dealing with that mental body a lot and the emotional body. So we've been in that void in regards to our mental and emotional health. But the Six of Swords is telling us we're moving on from these rocky waters. We're moving on past these hardships. We have to let the past flow behind us, but it still has its tendrils in our mental body. There's something that we are still dwelling on, something that still has its hooks in us from the past and the hard times. And we're going to this new future, new horizons. I see on a second look that it's actually a ring of trees, but at first I was thinking it was a ring of purifying fire, going back to that fire imagery of that anger. So let that anger transform our relationship to the past and sever those cords once and for all. And then we'll be able to find some peace with the Eight of Cups. This is a Hindu goddess looking figure. I'm really drawn to this goddess imagery with the full moon, especially behind her. And then on either side, we have these moons here, making me think of the triple goddess energy. So very potent, very powerful, very transformative energy. And we still have this darkness surrounding us. I see a lot of dark on the cards, but these horses are also moving on with the Knight of Wands. They have a new motivation, a new spark. There's something that is drawing their interest, and they can have this new direction. We have no longer these swords following us. We are taking them out of our backs. We're taking it from our past and directing it into this new transformed ways. And I see we're also cutting through the clouds, so we are gaining clarity. We're really supposed to be focused on the adventure right now. We don't have to know the final destination, but trust that things are transforming and going forward, even if we are in this dark void space, because this sense of passion will be very loud and clear when all else is a little abysmal, right? We're finding the smallest joy in the moment and seeing where that can take you. And, again, it doesn't have to be big, grand stuff. It could just be fuzzy socks and a warm cup of tea. All right, and let's get one last card to anchor the start of this reading. One last card to anchor this reading. All right. Then we have helping others. Let that airplane pass. Helping others, loving this pink energy. So let's bring in some heart healing. Oh, I'm going to bring out my pendulum for this one. We're not going to see it. Oh, maybe we can see it. Let's see what we can do. Open up the heart. Oh, get comfortable here. All right. Connect with this. Hope in our hearts so that we can become a better vessel in service to those around us. It is not selfish to take time out for yourself. The more you have care and compassion for yourself, the more you're going to be able to anchor it for those around you. And we're just taking very small steps here. Okay. Whoop, let's cut that. I don't know. I'm just experimenting with things to do here. Don't know how that's going to look or turn out on film or if that's even beneficial. But hey, if you're sensitive to energy, let's do some healings up in here. Let's just have some fun with it. Oh, okay. So lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's go a little further. Let's see what else the cards have to say for us today. All right, so I've had to do another course correct. I was halfway through this reading, and long story short, it didn't save it. So, trying a new method. I'm afraid that I might have sacrificed some sound quality, but I am just determined to get this reading done so I can problem solve another day on that. So we're starting off with Mercury. We have this image of the caduceus, and that's the intertwining of the masculine and feminine principles. I'm seeing all the makings of a spiritual awakening here. Oh, dog just barked at nothing down below, so let's call that a confirmation. The nice thing about Mercury is that it is so fluid. We can really change our minds a lot easier than it is to change our hearts. But everything's really becoming illuminated in this darkness. What needs to change? We're developing a new relationship with our mental body and coming into wisdom. So I'm going to read from this book here. It's really quite wonderful. Oh, yeah. It's just so hard to capture the magic of the first run. We also have the 1, 2, and 3, and the threefold riddle. Right before this, I had a synchronicity looking at the clock at 3:33 and sitting down to meditate for 33 minutes, completely unintentionally. That was just very loud. So perhaps that's resonant for you. If it is, pay attention. So Mercury, bearing the number 1, signifying the truth of unity and invoking the concepts of masculinity as an active function to relate to the creative intellect. This card has some affinity with the magician of the tarot. And weren't we just talking about that? The magician. Gotta get some water. I've been talking a lot longer in real life than this video is ever going to show. But, so scrap that do-over. Clean slate. Moving on. So 2 serpents are shown intertwined around a central staff, a wand of Mercury, the whole forming the mystic caduceus, the symbol of magical transformation. The snakes wind around the staff 3.5 times, likening them to the coiled kundalini serpent energy emanating from the base or sexual center. The staff symbolizes the spinal column through which the raw serpent energy travels and is transformed. The aim of awakening the kundalini is to pass the most potent inner forces upward, piercing and illuminating inner psychic centers, the chakras, resulting in drops of wisdom distilled in the region of the head, the seat of the higher intellect. This card represents the primordial energy, the inner Shakti, transformed alchemically into an elixir, depicted as fluid mercury and are harnessed as 4 stable pools. These are related to the main psychic centers of the body, the navel, heart, throat, and head regions. This is a symbol of the realization and fulfillment stage of tantric practice and is suggested by the crowns on the heads of the snakes. The background reveals itself as a black sun, indicating the mystery of energy transformed into something beyond our worldly concepts. Mercury in its raw stage is a poison, but if used correctly, it can produce gold. This alchemical concept here takes on psychological meaning, the gold of spirituality and enlightenment. For centering in the present, we're really talking about anchoring into the current moment as being the ultimate sort of spiritual practice. Continuing with these 3s, we have the 63, which becomes relevant. Just looking for the correct page. There we go. Centering bears the number 63, signifying the power of the triple nature pervading all things and becoming a glyph of the essence of the inner and outer realities. According to the cycle of activity, the Tantric Dakini Oracle, this card indicates the potent power of the present. The mandala of the self, the Sri chakra, is pictured as across the surface of the moon, the blue color of which emphasizes the cooling nature of this source of wisdom. The Sri chakra consists of combined male and female energy aspects manifesting as 5 ascending and 4 descending triangles respectively, forming 43 triangles in total, signifying the integration of the inner and outer worlds, micro and macrocosm. Each of the triangles consists small figures of deities, reminding us that all the gods exist within each one of us as the exalted attributes of the psyche. Around the figure created by the triangles, there is an inner red and outer white circular lotus enclosure, representing the combined self-created female and male essence principles respectively, out of which all things are formed. This card depicts the eternal present, the spontaneous non-duality of the moment outside of time limitations. It is an initiation into this understanding. Woohoo! So more of this integrating duality. Got some very mystic people out there. Welcome. And thank you for joining me on this corner of the internet. So Isis bears the number 2, signifying the truth of complementary opposites uniting and implying a blending of emotion and intuition as an exalted femininity wisdom archetype. She is related to the high priestess of the tarot. The head and shoulder of Isis, who is also shown as Ishtar, the high priestess, are seen as if rising through a nebulous veil of night sky. She is considered to be guarding the doorway through to occult knowledge. Her position is that of a wisdom holder, an attendant and guardian of the great secret Dakini realm, initiatrix or initiatress. I like initiatrix better. The night sky symbolizes the limitless nature and awe-inspiring qualities of her territory, the wisdom with which she guards so carefully. Traditionally, this wisdom is never revealed to the uninitiated, and therefore this aspect of Isis is portrayed showing only her bared head and shoulders. It is said that, like the sleeping Venus, if her full nakedness or potency is exposed prematurely without adequate psychic preparation, there is a chance that the occult mysteries revealed through her might be misunderstood or abused. Her two eyes are rubies, indicating her fire-like inner nature. And on her forehead is an open third eye which points to her function as a distiller of arcane knowledge and tells of deep, intuitive penetration. She wears ornaments indicating her exalted position. On her head are two golden horns forming the shape of an upturned crescent moon. The archetype of Isis, the high priestess, is here depicted as an anima glyph. I had the biggest smile while reading through that, talking about that triple goddess again, with that moon on the head, being anointed, becoming the anointed one. The chosen ones are the ones who choose themselves. Oh, the technical difficulties won't stop. So, once I get through this bit, we'll close out with the unicorn and get that final message. But, technology is wanting to shut down on me. So let's find out about the Scarlet Woman. She bears the number 3, signifying the threefold nature of existence as creation, preservation, and dissolution. The Trinity, the trine of astrology, the past, present, and future. The threefold cycle of destiny. This card has some affinity with the Empress of the Tarot. The two large eyes of the Scarlet Woman as a goddess stare out over a cluster of small red flowers. In the foreground, there is a large open red poppy, relating her to the earth in its fruitfulness and fecundity. She represents the threefold play of the goddess, the Shakti in her sensual and sexual aspects through her magnetic form. She is the seductive yogini, female aspect of yoga fulfillment, of the left-hand tantric path, which stresses that there should be no hesitation to perform potent acts provided one is prepared to handle the consequences. The red color indicates the sulfurous nature of her energy as the raw female principle in the alchemical process of self-realization. The open poppy indicates that the womb of the goddess is open in a mystic invitation. On her brow is depicted a ruby, related to her fire-like transcendental nature, at the same time pointing out that, so sure is she of her position of authority, she wears her potency as adornments. This Scarlet Woman does not back down. She is standing in her power. She has taken those swords from her back and wears them proudly as markings of where she has been and what she has overcome. And finally, we have the threefold riddle. The threefold riddle, 25, signifying the cycle of psychological temptation and its resolution as direction, the highest attribute of which is the wisdom of discrimination. According to the classification by elements, this is an air card, normally related to the suit of swords. And we were already talking about those swords. So I'm wondering if this is sort of like a 3 of swords. Out beyond the realms of the knowable, in the infinity of space, stand 3 veiled and mysterious figures. The veils are of the kind traditionally worn by Muslim women in Afghanistan, but they represent the unrevealed aspect of the triad of forces, the threefold nature of existence in the world. The figures are of like gender, either female or possibly asexual. Their identity is concealed. The riddle is the secret nature of the questioner. The veils represent the clothing that the spirit takes on in order to manifest in the spirit world, both as a protection and as an illusion. In this context, they can be understood as the guardians to the realm of Mahamaya, the great illusion. As such, they urge mankind to try to understand the riddle of existence and at the same time confuse the seeker with their mysterious dance of illusion. This is a riddle card, a seduction through the mystery of a self which is concealed. Shedding all of these layers, bringing our multiple selves into the current moment, into our current now. Let me get some water. My voice is starting to crack. And we will close out with a unicorn. All right, let's get a closing message from the unicorns as we sit in this moment, the stillness, the dark. Possibility. Raise your standards. Elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential. Oh gosh, just seeing this on the screen makes me not want to finish it because the colors just come out so well on this camera. I just hope that the sound quality is okay. Let me know if you're interested, I guess. Possibility, spreading your wings, being in this realm of transformation, rebirth. All those wings are even the same color. You can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world and love every part of your journey, even this one, in that healing cocoon, not even aware of the possibility that is coming to us, but that's okay. That's for spirit to bring in and you to experience. And the bee. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness, and you are the queen of abundance. I'm learning lately that abundance doesn't necessarily mean money. It means a great many other things. I would love for I'm just asking the universe to invite that other kind. That's all I'm saying. All right, all right. So, come here, share your song. Find your soul tribe. It's out there. Your people are out there, but when you emerge from this, you're going to be able to go forward and heal other people, help other people, and build a community, the one that you've always wanted. All right, well, thank you very much for tuning in with me. I'm just trying to get over all of the tech hiccups, but we made it through. Woohoo! I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye.